Hello friends, welcome to EduPanther. In previous lecture, we saw how to use logarithm for a differentiation process. Now in this video, we are going to learn about implicit functions and how to differentiate implicit functions. So now I am writing two functions here. You pause your video and in comment section write what differences you can find in these two functions. Your first function is y is equals to sin tan x. Second function is x raised to y plus tan of xy is equals to 2. Now pause your video here for some time and in comment section write what all differences you can find in these two functions. In first function, we can see here y is written only in terms of x. That means y is written totally in terms of x. But in second function, it is not possible to write y as a function of x. That means we cannot write y totally in terms of x. So, if in a function one variable say y can be written totally in terms of x or x can be written totally in terms of y, then those type of functions are called as explicit function. But in case where neither y can be written as function of x or x cannot be written as function of y, then those type of functions are called as implicit function. So in our previous lectures, whatever functions we have seen, those were explicit function because we used to write y is equals to our question. But now in this video, in this lecture, we'll see how to take derivative in case of implicit function. So let's start with a question. Your question is we have to find dy by dx. That means we have to differentiate y with respect to x. Our first question is root x plus root y is equals to square root of a. Now you can see here this is an implicit function because here y is not represented in terms of x. So how to differentiate here? To find the derivative in case of implicit function, you just have to remember one thing. Just have to remember one thing. So whenever we are taking derivative of this y term, so use the basic formula and then multiply that term with dy by dx, that is using composite function. Now we'll see how to do that. So we'll differentiate both sides with respect to x. We'll get derivative of root x plus derivative of root y is equals to derivative of root a. Now derivative of root x is 1 by 2 root x plus derivative of root y will be 1 upon 2 root y, but since we are differentiating the term of y, so we have to multiply the derivative with dy by dx. So it is 1 by 2 root y into dy by dx. You have to note down this step. This is very important step in implicit functions. So whenever we are differentiating any term of y, first apply the basic formula and then multiply it with dy by dx. This is equals to, now what is derivative of root a? You can pause your video and comment in this comment section what will be derivative of root a. Now here most of the student makes the mistake. They write derivative of root a is 1 upon 2 root a. But as you can notice here, root a is a constant number because there is no term of x. So it is a constant term and derivative of constant term is 0. So derivative of root a is also 0. So what we have got here, 1 by 2 root x plus 1 by 2 root y into dy by dx is equals to 0. Now what do we have to calculate here? Dy by dx. So the process here is take all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side and shift the remaining terms on the right hand side. So in this equation 1 by 2 root x is without dy by dx. So we will shift it on the right hand side. So what we'll get here, 1 by 2 root y into dy by dx is equals to minus of 1 by 2 root x. Now we have to find the value of dy by dx. So whatever extra term we have with dy by dx, shift those terms on the other side. So we have to shift this 2 root y on the other side. So we will get dy by dx as minus 2 root y upon 2 root x. Minus 2 root y upon 2 root x. If we can cancel out this 2, so our final answer will be dy by dx is equals to minus of root y upon minus of root y upon root x. So this is our final answer. So the process is first step is, so for differentiation of implicit function, first step is differentiating both sides with respect to x. Differentiating with respect to x. Second step will be take all terms of dy by dx, write all terms of dy by dx on left hand side and remaining term on the right hand side. Remaining term on right hand side. Using these two steps, we can find dy by dx in case of implicit function. Now we'll see one more question. So your equation is given as cos of xy is equals to x plus y. Again this is an implicit function. We have to find dy by dx. So our first step is we have to differentiate both sides with respect to x. So differentiating with respect to x, we'll get derivative of cos of xy equal sign, then derivative of x plus derivative of y. So derivative of cos of xy, here as we can see it is a composite function. We have two functions here, cos and then x into y. So using that derivative of composite function, first we have to differentiate the function which is present outside, which is cos here. So derivative of cos is minus sine of xy into, take the derivative of term present inside the bracket, which is x into y here. So derivative of x into y, this is equals to derivative of x is 1 plus, now derivative of y will be denoted by dy by dx. Next step, so that minus sine xy will be as it is, then we have to take derivative of x into y. Now this is product of two terms, so we have to use product rule of differentiation. So what is product rule of differentiation? Derivative of u into v. So derivative of u into v is u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. So our u is x here and v is y. So x into derivative of y plus y into derivative of x is equals to 1 plus dy by dx. Next step, this minus sine xy as it is, then into x, derivative of y is denoted by dy by dx plus this y as it is, and derivative of x is 1. This is equals to 1 plus dy by dx. Now what we have to find here? Dy by dx. So what is our strategy? We'll take all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side and remaining terms on the right hand side. So for that, first we have to multiply this minus sine xy into this bracket. So we'll get, first term will be minus x sine of xy into dy by dx, and then next term will be, now instead of plus this will become minus y into sine of xy. This is equals to 1 plus dy by dx. Now procedure is, take all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side. So we will shift this dy by dx on left hand side, and this extra term, this term which does not have dy by dx, to the right hand side. So first term will be minus x times sine xy dy by dx, then minus of dy by dx is equals to 1, and then we are shifting this y sin xy on the right hand side. So we'll get 1 plus y times sin xy. Now concentrate on this left hand side. Here we have to find dy by dx. So take dy by dx common from these two terms. So we will get dy by dx as minus x times sin of xy minus 1. This is equals to 1 plus sin of y times sin xy. Next we have to find dy by dx. So shift this bracket on the right hand side. So final answer will be dy by dx is equals to 1 plus sin xy upon minus x into sin xy minus 1. So this is a final answer. If you want to simplify this, we can further simplify. So this is 1 plus y times sin of xy divided by, we can take this minus sign common. So minus x times sin of xy plus 1. So this is a final answer. So process is, first differentiate both sides with respect to x, then collect all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side and remaining terms without dy by dx on right hand side. One more thing we have to remember, whenever we are differentiating any term of y, so use basic formula and then multiply it with derivative of y as in dy by dx. Next, now in previous two questions we had to find dy by dx, but now here we have to prove that dy by dx is equals to y by x. Now this type of questions are very nice, because we know the answer, we just have to get that answer. So our first question is x raised to 7 into y raised to 5 is equals to x plus y raised to 12. Now using this equation we have to prove that dy by dx is equals to y by x. So what is our first step here? Yes, we can start with differentiation, but as we concentrate or observe on the structure of this function, so we can see the powers of x and y gives 12, as in if we add them we get 12. So for such type of question, we have where we have some product, indices, some complicated function. So in our lecture on logarithmic function, use of logarithmic function, for in such cases we have to apply logarithm on both sides, so that will simplify our function. So now instead of starting with differentiation, first we'll take the logarithm. So we'll take log on both sides. Now see, in this log I have not mentioned the base, so by default base is e here. So taking log on both sides, so log of left hand side is equals to log of right hand side. Now here in this left hand side thing, we have log of x raised to 7 into y raised to 5. So by using this property of log, that log of a into b is log of a into b is log of a plus log of b. So that will give us log of x raised to 7 plus log b means log of y raised to 5, which is equals to, now again use this property. Use the power property of log, that means this is log of a raised to m is m times log a. Similarly, log of a into b is log a plus log b. Using these two property, so this 12 will come at the start here. So we'll get 12 times log of x plus y. Similarly, for log x raised to 7 we can use that property, so that 7 has come here, 7 log x plus. Similarly, for this log of y raised to 5 also we can use that property, so this 5 will come at the start. So it's 5 times log y is equals to 12 times log x plus y. Now we have simplified this expression, so now we can start with the differentiation procedure. So we'll differentiate both sides with respect to x. So it will be 7 into 7 is constant, so keep it as it is. 7 into derivative of log x plus similarly here in the second term 5 is constant, so keep 5y as it is, 5 as it is. Take derivative of log y is equals to same 12 is constant, 12 into derivative of log x plus y. Now 7 as it is. What is derivative of log x? 1 upon x. So 7 into 1 upon x plus 5, and then derivative of log y will be, so first apply the basic formula. So log y is 1 upon y into, we have to multiply it with dy by dx. So we will get 5 into 1 by y into dy by dx is equals to, now we have to take derivative of the function present on the right hand side. So this 12 will be as it is. Now here we have a log of x plus y. We can see it is a composite function. So first we'll take derivative of the function which is present outside. That means first we'll take derivative of log. Now derivative of log x is 1 upon x. So derivative of log of x plus y will be 1 upon x plus y into, now take the derivative of term present inside which is x plus y here. So we have multiplied here with derivative of x plus y. This is using composite function, differentiation of composite function. Now next step, just simplify this. So your left hand side will be 7 by x plus 5 upon y into dy by dx is equals to, now this 12 upon x plus y will be as it is. Now we have to take the derivative of x plus y. So since this is addition, so we can directly split it here. So outside term will be 12 upon x plus y into derivative of x plus derivative of y. Your left hand side will be as it is because we cannot simplify it now, is equals to, now on right hand side derivative of x is 1 and derivative of y can be written as dy by dx. So as we can notice here, derivative of x is 1 and derivative of y is written as dy by dx. So what is our first step? We have differentiated both sides. Now we have to find dy by dx. So for that what we can do, we have to take all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side and remaining terms on the right hand side. So for that first we have to multiply this 12 upon x plus y on right hand side. So left hand side will be as it is. On right hand side first multiply this 12 upon x plus y into 1. So that will give us 12 upon x plus y plus next term will be 12 upon x plus y into dy by dx. Now shift all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side. So we will get 5 upon y into dy by dx minus this 12 upon x plus y into dy by dx, which is equals to, now shift all the remaining terms on the right hand side which does not have dy by dx with them. So first term will be 12 upon x plus y, then minus second term will be 1 upon x. Now on this left hand side what we can do, from these two terms we can take dy by dx common. So if we take dy by dx common, we'll get dy by dx into 5 by y minus 12 upon x plus y is equals to, your right hand side will be as it is. Now since we have some fractions here, so we can apply cross multiplication on left hand side also as well as right hand side. So after cross multiplication on left hand side we'll get this 5 times x plus 5 times y, then minus 12 times y upon, multiply the denominators y into x plus y, which is equals to same cross multiplication on right hand side will give us 12x minus 7x minus 7y upon x times x plus y. So we can subtract this 5y and 12y, so which will give us minus 7y. So here it's 5x minus 7y upon y into x plus y, which is equals to, similarly on the right hand side also we'll get 5x minus 7y upon x into x plus y. Now we have to find dy by dx. So keep dy by dx on right hand side and shift the remaining terms on the right hand side. So now if we are shifting this bracket, if we are shifting this bracket on the right hand side, so so this will go in the division, that means we have to take reciprocal of that term. So we'll get dy by dx as, yes, this 5x minus 7y upon x into x plus y into reciprocal of that term, which is y into x plus y upon 5x minus 7y. Now we have to see whether we can cancel out something or not. So yes, we can cancel this 5x minus 7y. Similarly, we can cancel this x plus y also. So in the numerator, what is remaining? Y. In denominator, we have x. So our final answer is dy by dx is equals to y by x, and this is what we have to prove. We have to prove that dy by dx is y upon x, which we have proved here. So this is our final answer. Clear? So procedure is same only. We just have to apply normal algebraic steps. Now let's move to the next question. So this seems very complicated. Question is same. We have to prove that dy by dx is equals to y upon x. But this seems very complicated. First we have cos inverse and then some quotient and is equals to tan inverse of a. But as we can notice here, on left hand side we have some terms of x and y, that means it's a variable side. But on right hand side we don't have any term of x, that means your right hand side is a constant number. So for such type of question, if we have to find dy by dx, then what we can do, see here we have cos inverse. So to simplify this expression, we can take cos on both sides. So what will be use of that? If we take cos on both sides, so that cos and cos inverse will get cancelled out because they are inverse functions of each other. So here our first step will be, we'll take cos on both sides. So it will be cos of that cos inverse of whole term is equals to cos of tan inverse of a. So now we can notice here this is cos and here we have inverse of that function. So it will get cancelled out. So we'll be left with this bracket. This bracket 7x raised to 4 plus 5 raised to 4 upon same term with negative sign. So our left hand side is this without any inverse function is equals to. Now on right hand side we cannot do anything, so we'll keep that as it is. So this will be cos of tan inverse of a. But again, as you can notice here, on right hand side there is no term of x, that means still it's a constant term. Still it is a constant term. So there is no difficulty in taking derivative of this constant term, because we know that derivative of constant term is 0. So now we'll differentiate both sides with respect to x. Now on left hand side we can notice it is of the form u by v. So we have to use quotient rule of differentiation, that means derivative of u over v. So derivative of u by v is v into derivative of u minus u into derivative of v upon v square. So here our u is this numerator and v is denominator. So apply that rule, derivative of u by v. So this is equals to derivative of cos. So first term is v into derivative of u. So v means this denominator with minus sign into derivative of numerator. Then we have minus sign here, minus u into derivative of v. So u means numerator into derivative of denominator divided by v square. So v square is 7x raised to 4 minus 5y raised to 4 whole square is equals to, now your right hand side is a constant term, this is a constant term, so its derivative will be 0. Now we just have to take the derivative of this numerator. So see here, first bracket as it is, then d by dx. 7 is as it is, derivative of x raised to 4 is 4x cube plus 5 as it is. Now derivative of y raised to 4, so normal formula, y raised to 4, its derivative will be 4y cube, and by using composite rule of differentiation we have to multiply this with dy by dx. So just remember, if we are taking derivative of any y term, then use the basic formula and multiply that derivative with dy by dx. Similarly, minus first bracket as it is, then same, x raised to 4, derivative of x raised to 4 is 4x cube minus 5 times 4y cube, and this is equals to, now what we can do here, we can shift this denominator on the other side, because on the right hand side we have 0, so it will be this whole bracket denominator into 0. So we just have to simplify this expression. So first bracket as it is, if we multiply here, 7 4s are 28, 5 4s are 20, minus same, yeah, 7 4s are 28 minus 20 times, this is equals to, your right hand side will become 0. Now there is no need to worry about the right hand side because we have simplified it. It is 0 now. Now next we have to prove that we have to prove that dy by dx is equals to y by x. That means we have to find the value of dy by dx. So for that, what is our procedure? Keep all the terms of dy by dx on left hand side and remaining term on the right hand side. So for doing that, what we have to do here, first we have to open this bracket, we have to multiply these two brackets here, similarly multiply these brackets here. So like 7 into 28, then 7 into 20, 5 into 28, 5 into 20. Okay, if we multiply that thing, so what we are going to get, we'll get this expression. Now in writing this expression, just remember this notation. This will simplify your work. So whenever we are writing some variables, as in if we are multiplying any expression which has more than one variable, so always use alphabetical notation here, like first x and y. So always write x term first and then y term after that. See, I have kept that notation here. See this. Now this is our expression. After multiplying, we have got this whole expression. Now we have to simplify. We'll see if we can cancel out anything or not. So we can cancel this 196 into x raised to 7 with this 196 x raised to 7. Similarly, one more term, this 100 times y raised to 7 with this 100 times y raised to 7. So what we are left with, 140 times x raised to 4 y cube into dy by dx minus 140 x cube y cube, and this whole expression, this is equals to 0. Now we'll see whether we can add any terms or not. So if we concentrate here, so this term 140 into x raised to 4 into y cube dy by dx, and similarly it's here also 140 x raised to 4 y cube dy by dx. If we add these two terms, we'll get 280 times x raised to 4 y cube into dy by dx. Similarly, this minus 140 x cube y raised to 4 and this minus 140 x cube y raised to 4. So after addition we'll get minus 280 times x cube y raised to 4 is equals to 0. Now what we have to find here, dy by dx. So keep dy by dx on one side and remaining terms on the other side, as we can see here. Again, whatever extra term we have with dy by dx, shift those term on right hand side. So dy by dx will be this 280 upon x cube into y raised to 4 divided by this term. So we can cancel out this 280, then we can cancel out x cube with this x raised to 4. Similarly, y cube with this y raised to 4. So we'll get dy by dx as y over x, and that is what we have to prove. Clear? So your differentiation process is very easy. We just have to concentrate on this normal algebraic step. So don't make any mistake with this plus and minus sign. Next sum, same. Now here this is different. Log of this whole term is given as 2. What we have to prove, dy by dx is equals to minus 12x cube upon 13 y cube. Now as we can observe here, it is almost like same as the previous question that we solved just now. So what we'll do, first write your question. So your question is log of this is equals to 2. Again see here, your left hand side is a variable term because it has some terms in x and y, but your right hand side is a constant number. So for this process what we can do, we have to shift this log on the other side, or we have to get rid of this log. Now how to get rid of log, and here observe here, base of log is 5, it is not e. So how to get rid of this log to the base 5? So what is inverse of log to the base 5? So if base is 5, then take every term in the power of 5. So it will be 5 raised to this left hand side is equals to 5 raised to right hand side. So now we are going to use this property of log. So a raised to log of x to the base a. That means if this base and this base they are same, then this is equal to x. Using this property of log, this term will go. This term will go, and we are left with this bracket. x raised to 4 plus y raised to 4 upon x raised to 4 minus y raised to 4 is equals to, left hand side will be, sorry, right hand side will be, instead of 100 it is 5 square is 25. Now what is our next step here? We have simplified the expression, we have to take the derivative. So for derivative, okay, now the further process is left for you as an exercise, because it is same as the previous question. Now pause your video, try to solve this question, try to get dy by dx as this expression minus 12x cube upon 13y cube, and comment below whether you are able to find the answer or not. Now next we'll move to one more important question, and one of the favorite questions in CET and one of the easiest one. So here y is given as square root of cos plus square root of cos plus square root of cos plus square root of cos till infinity times. So how many terms are there? Infinite number of terms are here. See, in the previous questions whatever we have solved, and in previous lectures also, all the questions were having only finite number of terms, but as we can see here it has infinite number of terms, cos plus root of cos plus root of cos plus root of cos plus root of cos. Okay, and what we have to prove here? What is there? We have to prove that dy by dx is equals to sine of x upon 1 minus 2y. So what will be our first step? We'll write a question. So question is y is equals to square root of cos plus square root of cos plus square root of cos plus. Okay, now again pause your video here for some time and try to see any pattern here. I mean, can you see any pattern in this question? Like, see, outside we have root of cos plus same term is there in inside also, square root of cos plus square root of cos infinite number of times. Similarly, if we ignore first two cos terms, so inside that also we have square root of cos plus square root of cos plus square root of cos till infinite number of times. So what we can do here? Observe here. So this whole expression is also same as y only. So now instead of this whole expression we can write y, because y has infinite number of terms, and this term is also having infinite number of terms. So what we can do here? We can write y is equals to root cos and this whole term as y. Now we have simplified this expression. I have to take the derivative, but before taking derivative we should get rid of this square root term. So that will simplify our process. So to get rid of square we have to take square. To get rid of square root we have to take square. We will get y square as cos x plus y whole square, which will give us y square as cos x plus y. Now next we will start with differentiation. So derivative of y square is equals to derivative of cos x plus derivative of y. Now derivative of y square, first apply the basic formula. So y square, its derivative 2y, then we have to multiply it with dy by dx. So 2y into dy by dx is equals to derivative of cos x is minus sin x plus this derivative of y can be written as dy by dx. Now we have to find dy by dx, so take all the terms of dy by dx on one side, so minus dy by dx, and remaining term on the other side minus sin x. Again here we have two terms of dy by dx, so how to simplify here? We can take dy by dx common. So if we take dy by dx common, from first term we will get 2y, from second term we will get minus 1. This is equals to minus sin x. Now same, we have to find dy by dx, so shift this bracket on the other side, so that will go in the denominator. So we will get dy by dx as minus sin x upon 2y minus 1. Okay, we have calculated dy by dx, but what we have to prove? We should get dy by dx as sin x upon 1 minus 2y, but instead of plus sin x we have minus sin x. So how to get rid of this minus sign? Multiply this minus sign in the denominator. So our final answer will be, so if you multiply this minus sign here, its sign will change, so minus 1 will become plus sign, plus 2y will become minus 2y. So this is our final answer that we have to prove. So we have proved this. So this is one of the easiest and important question for differentiation. So this is all what we have in differentiation of implicit function. So if you have any doubt or query in this lecture, you can write in comment section area. Thank you.